Hi there. In this lecture we see Bobby Fischer against Herbert Seidman in the 1959 USA Championship, round 7. We see Fischer kicking off with e4, best by test, d5, the Scandinavian defense, or centre counter as it used to be known as. E takes, queen takes d5, we see knight c3, queen a5, d4. Now the usual move here is for black to play c6. And there are even grandmasters like Ian Rogers who have had great results with the Scandinavian. A typical line, bishop c4, the bishop can come outside of the pawn chain. Black can even tolerate knight d5 like this with a dynamic structure. It's kind of an interesting position. Okay, but in this game we see knight c6. Fischer reacts with d5, a forcing move. Knight b4, and now bishop b5 check. So this is the point. c6. If bishop d7, bishop takes d7, knight takes, and this is kind of nice for white, this scenario. With bishop e3, white should have a nice advantage here. So, yeah, this is a disruptive check. We have c6, d takes, b takes, and now bishop a4, which seems to carry with it a weakness of the last move. That, hold on a sec, can't the king be stopped from castling? And in fact, black played bishop a6. This is already a kind of dodgy position for black. Actually, it turns out it looks for the moment really kind of lucrative. Stopping the king castle and rook d8. Yeah, looking at the queen, these things look dangerous. In fact, knight e4 was probably a better shot. For example, a3, knight takes c3, a takes, queen takes a4, and knight takes d1. But even so, here, white's better. That was probably a better shot in the circumstance than this move. This has a fatal flaw. Bishop a6. Can you see what that is? What do you think Fischer plays in this position? If I give you 5 seconds to pause the video. Yeah, although the bishop has a kind of weaknesses, neglected that diagonal, it is looking at c6, and the king still is in the center. Fischer just tries to nudge the knight. It's as simple as that, nudge the knight. So bishop takes c6 is possible. We have rook d8, but now, like a boxer, putting their guards up, Fischer just plays bishop d2. So renewing a takes b4 is a threat. Black's losing material. This is looking diabolical. We have rook d6 trying to get some sort of attack. Fischer just takes. We have queen f5. If rook e6 check, bishop e3, queen takes. Queen d4 is sufficient, and black's got nothing. White's winning that. So queen f5 was tried. Bishop b3. Now knight e4, really, it looks very hopeful, this position for black, hoping for knight takes e4, in which case black's back in the game. If knight takes e4 check, because the white king's stuck in the center, bishop e3 is needed, and black gets the queen and should be fine here. It should be equal at least. But the thing is, in this situation, white is not obliged to take on e4. Fischer just takes on a6, allowing a capture. I'd call a capture in close proximity. It looks scary to an L. This sort of capture so close to the queen and king, and the king's still in the center, but it's fine actually. Queen a1 is played. It's fine. If knight takes d2, this would be a blunder. To queen takes f2 check. So queen a1, we have knight takes c3, and here actually Fischer could have just taken the rook as well. He just takes on c3, but taking the rook is fine as well. White's got a big advantage here. So b takes though is sufficient. White's a piece up and just castles on move 17, and black gives up. He is a piece down, a7 is dropping, and in fact the king's still in the center for a moment. It's not very good news at all, this position. So black just gives up here. So yeah, a very brief game, brief win, but it does show something about the the cruelty of chess, seemingly lucrative stuff. If there is an Achilles heel, then there is an Achilles heel, and this seemingly lucrative bishop a6 does have a neglect of the c6 pawn, and this forcing move makes no difference because of bishop d2, putting the gloves up, defensive gloves. And even here, it's all over ambitious. White's able to defend this. If rook e6, bishop e3, White's able to defend and be a piece up. White's able to choose carefully which capture here, and this is just winning. It's just winning. Yeah, it's one of the more clear-cut wins. Not too much controversy here. Black's opening was not great. On the other hand, Herbert did have a few wins in the tournament. He wasn't a complete bunny. I say that term affectionately quite often. He wasn't a complete bunny. He did have some teeth. Just it wasn't shown in this particular game. Overly ambitious play on Black's part. Okay. Interesting to know what to do against knight c6, though. It's a great example. That's one of the takeaways as well that I have. This knight c6 could be a bit of a surprise move you face in the Scandinavian. So Fischer shows that d5 could be an antidote as well. All right. Thanks very much. Hi guys. If you enjoyed this video lecture, you might want to get more at my course, Kingscrusher TV/Bobby Fischer, which I had a blast creating, over 25 hours of video content. I tried to get the most instructive juice out of every single game covered and picking the most important games from this period. I had an absolute blast creating it, and I think you'll have an absolute blast checking it out. And it's at a big discount code with this link, Kingscrusher TV/Bobby Fischer has the discount code. So I hope you do check that out. Thanks very much.